Commissioner Cater.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
Commissioner Buckley.
Here.
There's a quorum present.
As you wish, please stand for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, please be with us today as we try to do the best for the county as we can do. Make the best decisions for us all to go into the future. Dear Lord, be with us. There's a lot of them that need your extra care. Keep them in your healing hands, dear Lord. Ask you to forgive us for all our sins, dear Lord. Thank you for the beautiful Easter you gave us yesterday, and to spend the time with our families, and that they all have a safe trip back. I ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Pointing out that we lost Dano 4 years ago today, and Bud Norman, a long time employee farming, died this weekend on a motorcycle. So, just want to thank you.
We saw your Easter pictures.
What's that?
His daughter's an employee in the county.
Yes.
From his own
His
breed.
daughter's very.
I didn't know that relationship. I knew Bud, I remember Bud, but I didn't know that relationship. Okay, consent agenda, just that one item. Motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We do have one table agenda item. John, are you ready to act on this?
I am. John Gross, Highway Administrator. There was some language in the contract that we just wanted to make sure was correct with the auditor's office, and it does meet their requirements, so we are good to act on this.
Okay. And about how many hours do you get on a tractor for?
Well, we have several that we, the last Batwing, or the last Motrin that we got rid of had over 9,000 hours on it.
9,000? Okay.
The one that this one's replacing is at about 7,500 hours.
And how old was that 9,000 hour tractor? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think maybe like a 2013 or a 2012, possibly.
All right. Okay, motion?
Make a motion, we get permission to purchase the JD tractor and Tiger mower for the road and bridge for the tractor for $100,139.88 and the mower for $79,224.28.
179,364.16.
Yeah, okay.
I would have thought they would take me 88 cents off, but
Yeah.
you should get over 100,000.
That, mention that NASPRO.
Oh, yes, to be paid by through the NASPO Value Point contract with that number.
Out of
Okay.
the 25 budget.
25.
25, yes, sorry.
Okay, second.
I'll second that. John, we won't get this tractor for what, year and a half?
That's why we're doing this
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
The earliest we can have it would be December or January.
So it's actually, it'll be
So-
next year.
And they're well aware that we can't pay for it until we get the 25 budget.
Okay. Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Okay, now for the regular agenda, we want to award the annual bids that the commission and prosecuting attorney have approved. Motion?
Make a motion, we approve the annual bids for the commission and the prosecuting attorney's office.
Second?
Second.
Questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Approved engineers from MoDOT on-call list. We have the RFQs in file.
We do. Last year when we approved the engineers from the MoDOT on-call list, that will expire in June of this year. So we're gonna try to start doing this at the beginning of every year. That way if there's any price changes, they're reflected in the contract of the year. But we would like to approve Taylor Engineering, Cochran Engineering, and Smith and Company as three of the engineers from the on-call list. Now, there is different criteria for each engineer. Taylor's not listed as an on-call for bridges, and there may be some other ones in there, but it's for their specific categories under the on-call. I think there's 6 in there, Jeremy? Isn't that the criteria? There's 6 categories. Smith and Company and Cochran are usually listed in almost all of them: structural,
Survey.
bridge, trails and sidewalks. Go ahead.
Did we have, was Brock Miller on the?
You had Brockmiller, but they're not.
But that was for the jail, really?
That was, yeah, so MoDOT is only these approved engineers Brock Miller's.
Okay,
approved
okay.
MoDOT's
This is
on-call
your
list.
first.
Yeah.
That's it, most
So-
of it is, yeah.
So the reason we're doing this with the sidewalks coming up, I think you guys had maybe some future plans, sidewalks over at the courthouse, bridge projects going on. We just thought it was important to go ahead and do this now, and get these approved for the year.
And Jeremy's here representing Smith and Company too. Thank you, sir. Motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve, on-call engineers from the MoDOT on-call list. It's Taylor Engineering, Cochran Engineering, and Smith and Company.
Second.
I'll second that.
Question?
We will get an itemized, pay schedule from these. Have it turned in to the
Okay.
auditors.
Awesome.
Any questions? All in favor of approving this list, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Contract for the Santa Creek Bridge.
Yep.
Boing, boing, boing.
Right.
Okay.
So we would like to approve Brock Miller Construction.
Did you notice the new numbers?
I did, and they are correct.
Okay.
To build the Sand Creek Bridge. This is a BRO project. Talked with Jeremy the other day. They have met all their documentation that they're required to have, and we're ready to move forward.
Okay.
So I know there's gonna be a question as to how soon this project's gonna kick off. I just talked to Colin, and we had just placed an order on our own beams for the Cedar Run Bridge, and they may not even be able to get beams till July or, August, somewhere in there.
Okay.
He didn't wanna order beams without being awarded the project, so he'll do so after this meeting. We'll have a little better schedule of what they see.
There were 6 bids open, but one of them did not have all the documentation, so it never saw the light of day. So we officially acted on these 5 bids. Okay. Motion to approve, Brock Miller?
I make a motion, we approve, award the contractor for Sand Creek to Brock Miller Construction for $529,928.67.
Okay.
I'll second.
Questions? Yes, Wood.
John, does this bridge carry bus traffic?
It does,
So it will close
it will.
during school season?
Yeah, so we conveyed that to Colin as well, as if any of the construction will take place, while school's out, would be beneficial. But I'm not sure if that's gonna happen or
What
not.
school districts?
Farmington. So right now, we have about a 4x6 steel plate covering a portion of the bridge that is exposed all the way down to the waterway, where the concrete and asphalt's.
Well, on that road anyway, I mean, they'll have to split it. Will there be a place for them buses to turn
We'll
around?
have to make a turn around at the winery, and then one
Yeah.
hit the driveway to the north of the bridge.
Yeah.
And I do know Colin has been, well.
And it's really, that road's not that long though, it's just.
Yeah,
It's not, but it's
yeah.
quite a go around, should a bus have to get
It is.
back to.
And it will have a big influence on Sand Creek Winery there. I mean, how to,
They'll have to come down here.
yeah, they'll have
Yeah.
to come down F and,
But
That'll change your
we
mileage,
cannot,
won't
we cannot compensate, impacted businesses.
no, how
Just-
long,
I
how
just
long
wanna know
construction,
It's 90 days.
90 days?
So at this point,
I've done it in the fall.
at this point, just a reminder.
Yeah, they won't be in business.
We'll take that letter and about 7 other pieces of documentation and send it into MoDOT to what's called LPA submit. They'll review y'all's letter requesting ability to award the bridge. It usually takes about 2 weeks for MoDOT to come back and they'll give you authorization to award the contract. So at that point, then the contractor can order their bids. So it's approximately a month before we'll come back in here and we'll have what's called the pre-construction meeting. And then at that point, you guys will sign the contract with the contractor.
Now, Colin didn't lose any hair on leaving 10% on the table, did he?
I think it's already done.
That's funny.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna bring up that thing about you worried about being able to get to the winery out there, so.
I think
Anyway,
I've been to that one.
okay, any other questions?
That one's for sale.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Ethics, we do this every 2 years, it has not changed, and so a motion to accept the code of ethics.
I'll make a motion that we accept the code of ethics for
Second?
the next 2 years.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
okay, and This is one of the deals where, like, I have to sign an affidavit every year that, I'm not doing business with the county, I'm not selling them anything like that. And there are several people that are, especially elected offices, that have to turn that in every year. So that's part of the deal. Okay, questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, award bid for the floor cleaning machines, I got another slide on that. Brian's not here and I don't have the dollars, so let's table this one until we can get the numbers straightened out.
I have,
Hold on a
You
second.
have the numbers, okay.
well, I have the original bids.
Is that the one that he's taking?
I don't know which one, do you know?
We
which one?
oughta-
There's going to be
Wait
several
for him.
numbers, do we want to wait?
I'll wait for him, yeah, because he needs to be, he needs to be. Thank you, thank you.
Then why don't we table this one,
Yeah.
and I think the next one too. I don't think either of these has got a real critical time factor on them.
Bless you.
So let's table both of these items until we can get the numbers, like broadcast them on the screen and all that. So that's items tabled also. Opioid fund settlement application. I have a 9-page application form here that the committee has written up. Thank you, Amber, you did a great job on this. And it's asked all the questions that somebody wanting opioid settlement funds would have to answer. Who are you? What do you do? How do you settle this? How does your work help the people with this addiction? All these questions for 9 pages. And so I would ask that the commission approve the application, and upon approval, then it can go on our website, and those groups that want funding for this can apply off of this application and turn it in. And then the committee has a scoring system that each member will look at each application and score that application. And just, it's weighted in different ways, and so that's how we'll go through that. So I ask for approval of the application form. Okay?
Make a motion that we approve the opioid settlement funds application.
Second.
I'll second.
Questions?
No, I did wanna make a comment though. So the county has appropriated $200,000 to be awarded.
We have about 400,000, parks, is that still about the same amount? But we've decided to give out about half of that.
Correct. And I think the county is anticipating allocating funds annually based on what we will be getting in. All this money is dictated by the lawsuit settlements, and at any time, some of those people could claim bankruptcy and that money may not be there anymore.
We also got 2 installments in the first year since it was pushed back so long, so that's why we have more than what we're gonna spend right away.
Correct.
So we have a little bit built up in there.
And these funds will be stretched out over up to 18 years or something like that.
Yep, and they may, like Amber said, they may go up or they may go down depending on these increases.
I think the anticipation is that these applications will be accepted through May 31st, with anticipation of awarding, the grant period would be July 1 of 24 through June 30th of 25. So we're hoping to do a decent turnaround, in order to get those funds out to those people that want to assist with that remediation. So, but all the information, notice of funding limitations, all that would be posted on the website once approved.
Also, Amber, this is not an ongoing renewal funding. They have to apply
Every
annually.
year.
Correct, it is a one-time basis. It's not saying you can't reapply for more funding in the future, but it would not be applicable to recurring funds year after year.
And your score, next application will be how well you did this year.
Correct.
And that's a part of the application too, is we can't control how they spend that money. I mean, we give them that money in hopes that they're gonna use it the correct way. But at the same time, once it's out of our hands, we can't.
Well, and on
Well,
that note, it will be
yeah.
on a reimbursement basis.
Yeah.
They will have to spend the funds and then seek reimbursement to make sure
Well,
it
yeah.
applies
So it's- yeah.
and is in compliance with the regulations we're held to.
And
But it's all outlined in that notice of funding and funding limitations as far as how often people can get reimbursed, and we don't wanna put anybody out by any means, but we would be held accountable and have to pay that money back if we don't spend it appropriately.
in other words, we're pretty sure we'll be audited.
Did we write those up for the people that received your,
Yes.
so we wrote, did we put a clawback provision in there at all? If for some reason there's some funds that we're not, we find out in the future we're not?
So it is in there if the funds, that they spent are deemed non-compliant, they would not be reimbursed for it. So we're reimbursing them after they've already spent the money. So if they don't conform to what the guidelines are based on the settlement,
I think that's great.
They don't
but
get reimbursed.
We may wanna look and see if we have something that if in the future we get audited and it was shown that they used it for something, that we have some way to claw back in that event, because the government's gonna claw back to us.
Well, we kinda like the ARPA funds, anything else, we can.
Yeah, I don't know if that's, but we may.
that's a
be
good
able to-
idea though, no, I appreciate
protect
that.
us.
And the way that it works is the board will review all the applications when they come in and score them, and then they will give a recommendation to the commission. And ultimately,
I
it would
really
have
think
to
this is
be-
great, the way you guys bet that and the farm and everything. I just don't, if there's any way we ever get caught in the middle, because they've already spent it, then the government audits us 4 years from now, and then we found what spent right, the government's gonna come to us. We will be the one that they'll seek. And hopefully if we can, now, by that time, they might have already used it for something, it could be, they couldn't repay it, but at least we've got the ability to go back after them or something.
Well, and I do wanna reiterate, these are not like federal grant fundings
Right,
by any
right.
means,
It's
so
a-
they're
it's
not gonna
private
be
settlement.
as,
Yeah.
but we have an MOU with the state on these funds and how they have to be reported, but ultimately, the commission will approve all the applications in public session, so the review board doesn't have the authority to approve anything, just recommend.
Awesome.
All right. Any other questions? Thank you again for the committee, they did a great job.
Yeah.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, emergency letter for the boiler pump at the jail. Amber, I think you told me that you needed some more details. This is my original letters on board. And you need some more details, and I don't have those.
Vendor and amount, so we
Okay.
can't approve an emergency purchase till we know what the vendor is and the amount, cause
I
that'll have to be
don't
in the
have that,
minutes.
so you wanna table this for now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's table this till I get that detail.
Am I right, is this a boiler, they're only like 7 years old? I'm thinking,
This is the pump for the boiler.
okay, the pump, because I knew they had trouble when we had trouble with the softener system. They thought this might be part of what happened. We wasn't, the water in it, that's what might have damaged this thing, so, one thing led to another.
Okay, well, we're going to table this till we get that detail, so, thank you. Next meeting, right here next week, no, not here, it'll be next Tuesday of next week. So, be back to the normal schedule. And so, as you see, the agenda items have to be on Monday, again on Monday. Okay, anybody have any correspondence?
Don't forget the 8th.
Well, I got that.
Oh, okay, never mind, I won't say anything. I just wanted to remind you.
Hey, I did wanna go back, I know it's passing on the boiler system, but is there anything that exists right now where that's damaging something else without it, or that's all?
That I don't know, I think they've gotten permission to proceed with the emergency purchase, but as far as approving it in
I
public
think it's
session, we
already done.
need the amount and
It's already done,
vendor
it's just the
information
explanation.
for record.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
no correspondence, no public comments, that wasn't the question, that was, do you have any public comment? Any departmental reports? Yes,
Just an update, we're open Friday and Saturday. We had 30 people vote on Friday, 6 on Saturday. But by law, we have to be open those 2 days, even though it's an Easter weekend. I want to thank Jackie and Emily and Valencia for doing that. They also, just to give you an idea, we have everybody in place to work tomorrow. But as of when I left there this morning at 9, we've already had 3 people call in and cancel. And Jackie used to say it's like putting together a puzzle in the dark, because you've got to have somebody's willing to go to Iron Mountain Lake, and then if they're not a Democrat, we gotta, if the Democrat is canceled, we have to find a Democrat to match the Republican. This morning, we could not get, we've got 2 in 1 precinct, and we can't get anybody to go there, and we can't get anybody to declare as a Democrat. So they'll get it worked out, but that's what they do almost all day Friday and Monday prior to the elections. And because of our age group, one lady had a stroke this weekend, so it's not like these people are just shove off some. When your average age is above room temperature, something comes up a lot, and they just do what they have to do to get everybody filled in the right numbers. And
What's your point there?
April's better. I'll make my point when you cough again.
Okay.
But anyway, they're doing a good job. Tomorrow, we're expecting severe storms. The last 3 years, we've had 3 precincts in the state hit by storms, which did major damage to the precinct. In one case, completely leveled it. We're hoping that there's no damages, but in particular, with over 20 locations spread from the north to the south, there's a good chance there could be power outages. We're working with our emergency management. We're also working on, I didn't even know this, but our 3 new trucks in maintenance all have the electric ports. So they're gonna be used as our primary backup if Iron Mountain Lake goes out. They've already are gonna be gassed, ready, have the extension cords, and we can do it with just 2 plug-ins, one with a projector light and one with the counting machine. And so as long as we can get to there, we've got 3 now, Trucks Plus Commissioners has volunteered his, he's got the same type thing. That is so much better than having to, and then if we would have a whole group, say like of Farmington or Park Hills, where we have several, then emergency management's got some generators we can use if it's long term. So we hope we don't have that problem.
Nick, on that note, you want to talk about the forecast?
Yeah, it's up. I looked at it.
Hey, just as a side note, road crew just headed to the beach this afternoon.
Yeah.
We'll be back Wednesday morning.
I was just thinking, we're probably pretty well equipped.
So, the National Weather Service put out a packet this morning, and let's see here.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Storm's gonna be here by the time we get ready.
Yeah, I know.
I'll at least have my message for myself to put the cords in my truck tonight.
That's right.
You take your time.
So, it looks like for our area here, we're in a enhanced level 3 this evening. They're saying between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. is when the second round of storms is supposed to hit. There's supposed to be one possible this afternoon, but it looks like it's tracking more to the north, so we should be fairly good there.
Now, the difference in that is, though, were they saying if that one come through, it might lessen the chance.
Yeah.
So if that one doesn't come through, we have a greater chance of
Or if we get
having
some
worse
sunshine.
snow.
It's best that it's going through at night.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be here. I'm just saying, let's see, they're predicting a strong EF2 plus is what it shows in here for the Monday and the Monday evening storms.
Explain that, what's an EF2?
So they're, the tornadoes are graded from a 0 all the way up to a 5. It's just the wind speeds, how much damage. I think the one we had a few years ago ended up being an EF2 that ran through south of Farmington. They're calling for baseball size or larger hail.
Oh, Jesus.
And winds up to 70 miles an hour. So
Boy, that truck was pretty.
Well, if they get a Cardinals pitcher to throw the
Yeah.
baseball side hill, we'll be okay because they can't hit anything.
They could use the batting practice.
But it looks like I said, it looks like this evening is going to be the bigger threat than this afternoon.
What is it?
From 10 to 3.
Just be safe.
Yeah, they're going to put another update out on
There's power.
Just be safe.
2 hours to get it fixed in the middle of the night.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, any other departmental reports? Okay.
You got a place I can park my truck?
And Liv.
Mike Sumter, Parks Department, pretty much the same as last Tuesday. We'll have the park open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday, April 8th, for viewing of the eclipse as well as touring the park and trails.
Do you have any glasses on hand? Or do I need to put
I
those
have
on?
9
9 glasses?
in my truck right now.
Sorry.
I went through Walmart last night, they had a wheelbarrow at the front door, and I picked up a little pair of those, cardboard glasses.
I will-
98 cents.
I will be auctioning off those 9 days for future trail funds.
I like that. Nice. We gotta find
They're
a
98
welding
cents
hood.
at Walmart, so with the cardboard, I don't know.
Surge pricing.
I get 2 welding hoods in a storage shed somewhere.
Anybody got any questions for the Mike?
If anyone has any questions, maybe between now and then, you're welcome to get a hold of me.
Park's
Well,
open all day.
Yeah, Mike might tell them too, if the sun's not out, if it's cloudy, it still get dark.
Still get
so
dark.
you can still
Yeah,
come.
we don't need it to be clear. They, still get dark no matter what.
Park will be open all day.
As of right now,
7 to 5.
the rain percentage is at 19% for Farmington and a 42% clear skies for that day.
And we are
It's
set
still
up
very
for-
early.
with the National Weather Service for, weather emergency alerts for that day.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you wanted to walk the trails, you might bring a set of boots.
Great.
Yeah.
There may be
Yeah.
much-
Yeah,
Anyway.
they're not paved yet.
We'll be there.
Okay, any other questions about anything?
Are we closed Monday or not?
That Monday, from noon on, yes.
Closing
That's
at noon.
county offices, not the circuit offices.
What time is the clip supposed to happen?
Starts at 12:41.
Okay. All right, and since the commission decided to close that, then it doesn't cost them sick time or anything like that. It's just, they'll be paid as if they're here.
Unless they're already off, correct?
You must be
Right,
present
let's
to
clarify that.
Yeah.
That's right, somebody's already off that day.
Must be present to win. I like that.
That's a good.
Okay. All right, anything else?
What's your next line?
That's the next slide.
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, right.
Aye.